Stagnation.
Oh yeah.
It's your boy Brazen.
Boom. Double O in the house.
Hey, listen, we are back in this piece. Another video. This one is an interesting one. A little bit of a discussion, if you will.
I'll be back.
And we're talking about the OG.
Oh yeah.
The very first. The Genesis. Bitcoin.
king.
That's what we're talking
Champion.
about today. Absolutely. Now, here's the interesting thing. We've all heard it that Bitcoin is going to 100K.
To the moon, they say. To the
Yes,
moon.
everyone's technical analysis is showing that, hey, you know, Bitcoin has to make it to 100K. It's just become this thing where everyone is expecting 100K from Bitcoin. However, in
Mama
this
Wood
video,
said that Cathy Wood said it's going to 260K.
260K. Hey, look, man, I don't know where these people get their numbers from, but, you know, they're the experts, right? We are not financial advisors. This video...
Just remind people.
Hey, what a great way to segue into that. We're not financial advisors. Everything we say in this video is just for entertainment purposes only. Please do your own research, right?
Yes, sir.
Now, what we're going to be talking about in this video is what we think is going to happen to Bitcoin. We want to look at the possibilities. Is Bitcoin really going to make it to 100K this year? Or are we in a bear market? And if we are in a bear market, how far will this thing drop?
How low will it go? How low can it
How
go?
low can it go?
Yeah.
Wait, which song is that, bro? Which song are you singing? Because I think the right song
lot
is
of
How
songs.
Low Can You Go? It's Ludacris.
How low can it go? Well, that's a couple of songs.
Is that the one?
You know,
Oh, okay.
yeah, that's
Well,
a
never
classic.
mind,
That's a
man.
stepping
Listen.
sound where you can step and go along.
My culture
down.
knowledge is kind of all over the place, so
Get
please
down with it.
forgive me.
Get down with it.
Right. So we're going to talk about a couple things that are on the table right now and how these things could possibly affect Bitcoin's price over the next 1 month, really. Because I think the biggest thing is that people, from most of the stuff we've seen, right, we have people who say it's going to be at 100K by the end of the year, right? We are now at the end of the year, I would say.
Just a few days away, folks. Just a few days away. Let's
Hey,
go.
look, man, tomorrow
is coming to an end.
Right, tomorrow we're rolling to December, and so it's safe to say that we're at the end of the year, unless they suddenly add another month. And looking at where Bitcoin is sitting right now,
Do we have time?
exactly. Do we have time? Many people could say it may not make it to 100K, and I could see why, because what we'll be expecting is a massive move from Bitcoin before the end of the year, about at least 80%. But we also know that, you know, to the downside, things are massive. So let me just go over the things that we're going to talk about here. We're going to talk about cycles of cryptocurrency, right? Bitcoin. So we're going to be looking at some historical data there, looking at how far that has gone down before. We're also going to be looking at things like COVID, the new variant.
Omicron or whatever it's called.
Isn't it crazy that I just said COVID and I felt like I had to bleep myself because you would actually get violated on YouTube for using the word COVID, even though I just said it like 3 more times right now.
COVID.
Listen, if we get censored because of that, it proves
well.
even furthermore why decentralization needs to happen. Abi?
Just go ahead and download Odyssey.
Hey, we'll get Odyssey, but YouTube has bought Odyssey too. I don't know if they can censor people one day. But anyway, we'll be talking about the ETF as well. Inflation, all right? We're also going to be talking about the European crypto support, right? And of course, some Bitcoin dominance. So let's jump right into it. Double O.
Well, you just mentioned all the different variables that could impact the price,
Right. Let's start with cycles. Let's talk about the cycles.
Okay, all right. Pop up that little chart that we had about the cycles.
Oh
If you
yes,
have-
absolutely.
We can do
let
that
me
real
let me
quick.
whip that up. Okay, so here we go.
All right. So again, history does not necessarily repeat itself, but it has similar occurrences, right?
Yeah, right.
So what has Bitcoin done in the past Decembers or around this time of the year? Because just like the stock market, we have cycles in the
Right.
crypto space as well.
This is true.
So this is an interesting chart here from this guy's article. There's also an agency that actually does all these reports. I think this is where this came from. Can't remember the name right now, but let's just take a quick flash at the views.
I think it's called a visual capitalist. Yeah.
Visual capitalist.
Yeah,
There you
great
go.
guys. Yeah.
There you go. And so the bull market was supposed to be October, Moon, November. So like Moon, November, like that's basically the crypto space. October, Moon, November, and same thing actually happens in the stock market as well.
Right.
And December tends to start coming down a little bit. We seldomly see a lot of big pops in December, even if you look at the charts.
This is true.
So historically, if you look at the past Decembers, So if we look at January, well, I guess we can name January.
Yeah. So
as,
we have December 17th here back in 2017 to 2018, and we can see that we saw a 83% drop.
Are you ready for that, folks
one,
out there?
I hope everyone is ready for it. Diamond hands,
yeah.
diamond hands. You know, yeah. And then we also have this November 30th to January 2016 period, right? So December is gonna fall in there, where we also had another 86% drop.
President, I just thought about it. Are we
What's
printing
that?
out Ford? Are we scaring folks right now?
Hey, listen, man. They say if you can't beat them, join them. Okay.
Oh my goodness.
That would be
look at
crazy.
that.
We were admitting to printing Ford while we're printing the Ford. Anyway, no, this is not Ford. We're looking at historical data, right? We're
Yes,
looking
sir.
at what has happened, and
This
it's
is
right
facts.
there. It
This is actual data.
Exactly. So it's kind of like, hey, you can believe it or not, but we're looking
Yeah.
at the numbers right here. And the
happens.
charts also follow to prove that as well. Go ahead.
And then we have November 8th, November 12th. And we've had a
Right.
couple of dips in this current November, which kind of proves that. So if someone was looking at this at the beginning of this month, they were like, yeah, we should expect a dip later on this month.
Right.
Because it's happened in the past. And it proves there November 2013, November 2017, and boom, we have another big November hit right there.
Absolutely.
So we have that. So we just got another November dip, which was
Absolutely.
major.
And
right.
I will also say one thing to also notice, and especially for people who, because the tough part about this is that every time this happens, right, people get shook out of their trades, people abandon, people lose money. You don't lose money unless you sell. The flip side of this is, despite all these pullbacks that we're seeing here, if you look at the very top here, looking at the high and low price, right, we went from $7 and $4 to $16 and $7 to $49 and $37, and it's been continuously rising despite all these pullbacks, to the point now
64,
where we are
31.
looking at 64 for a high and 31k for a low. So
Imagine that we were at 31K this year.
hey, dude, it happened pretty fast, man. As soon as the lockdowns happened, that did not waste any time. I mean, it proved exactly what it was built to be, right? It proved that it's working the way it was supposed to, the way it was designed to work. And that's
It
one of
should
the
then
things
go-
I always say, that Bitcoin has to go through all of this tests to really prove that it is what it was built to do. Go ahead.
I think that should go to the next variable in our
Right.
analysis, which is COVID.
Absolutely. So, COVID, how do you think this will affect the situation?
Well, see what happened the last time we had COVID.
All right, let's whip into the charts here. All right, so if you look back to March of 2020, when the lockdowns began, right?
Got initiated.
Yes, the initiation of the lockdowns, imprisonment of the world. Abi, when we when we all got shut down, we dropped about 62%, right? So things went from roughly around 10,000, right, to about 3,900. Imagine if that is like the price of one Ethereum about a month or two ago, or something like that.
1 year.
Right. So if you bought some Bitcoin at that point, obviously massive gains coming, or the massive gains have already happened. Now, as we look at that now, after COVID, this is when we had a lot of talks about using Bitcoin as
That was
as-
that
as
V-shaped
a-
return,
as a-
man.
exactly right, a major V-shape. There's a lot of talks about using Bitcoin as a hedge against inflation, right?
Yep.
And as more people got into it, the price started driving up, and you know how this goes, right? It's like a domino effect, and we kept running up.
Yep. So maybe during the fear of if something happens with this new COVID and
Right.
it shut us down again, we could see that initial dip because people are freaking out, don't know what to do and how to do it.
Yes,
And then we have another V-shaped return, and then that will be another.
another
That could
run
be
up.
the run for the 100 or 200K.
But do you
I
think
know.
that will happen this year?
That's if they shut us down. I don't know if they're gonna shut us down this year or maybe another March of next year. And March is gonna be the shutdown period every year.
March shutdown period. Hey, I don't think America is ready for another shutdown, man. You know,
Nah, we're not ready.
we need to look for
Talk about
other
inflation. We're about to have a
solutions to that
freaking
one.
depression.
You know, that is actually a good segue into the next topic. Yes, inflation.
Ooh,
Right.
look at that, man. We're
Using
flying.
Bitcoin as a hedge against inflation. Now,
Jing.
what is the, let's say, the official numbers by the government for inflation?
The official number is 6%.
6%.
Starting to 20% if you
Uh,
calculate.
yeah,
every
it's
single penny
definitely-
coming out of your pocket.
Is definitely up there. So then, in that case, then, if you were in Bitcoin, right? With the idea of hedging against inflation, since when things took a downturn, I think you're crushing. You're crushing the battle against inflation.
1,678%. That's
Exactly.
better than being chewed up by
Yeah.
the dollar.
That is absolutely crushing inflation, punching inflation in the face.
Sure,
right?
it's punching gold in
So-
the face. Like,
Absolutely. So the asset is it's there is no other asset like it. Over the past 10 years, nothing has performed like Bitcoin, right?
folks would be
And-
like, oh man, it's just too scary. Look at those big movement up and down. What do you tell them?
I would say, well, look at the inflation rates and look at gas prices and tell me how comforting that is for you if you feel scared that Bitcoin might pull back a little bit or something. But they say people fear the things that they don't know.
Yes, sir.
So I would say educate yourself and understand what's going on, because we just showed clearly the points when people get out is during those massive pullbacks, right?
Yep.
And we're also looking at this clearly, despite all of those pullbacks, this thing is higher than it's ever been.
You
Right?
just reminded me of something.
What's that?
We need to do a video on lessons learned from Miami. We need to do a Miami lessons video.
Well,
That lesson said, when the dip dips and dip, that is when millionaires are made. Start stashing your money away.
well, we knew that before we went to Miami, though.
I know, but I mean, it's a good additional juice.
Yeah,
you
it
know?
is. It is an additional juice. Okay, well,
Yeah.
let's plan on that one. We have to write
Yes,
down some
sir.
topics because the ideas are all still scattered in my mind. I need to.
Oh, I got notes. I got lots of notes.
Okay, then that's good because my notes are all in my phone. I was texting myself doing the thing. Okay, so the next thing that I want to talk about as well is the Euro crypto support. You were telling me about this. I actually did not know about this.
Yeah,
Tell
so
me.
policymakers in Europe are putting together legislation
Yeah.
that is kind of supportive of crypto for the first time. Actually, it's not anti-crypto.
Right.
Basically, it states that they need to find a way to regulate crypto. How they are going to regulate has not been released out to the public yet. But it's not, oh, we're banning crypto. It's let's regulate it. I'm sure there's going to be some talk about taxes, but the current conversation is that they're just going to tax it like a regular security. That's not bad.
Hey, that'd be great. They can do that. It's better than what America is doing.
Well, America's kind of behind because we have all these old folks in government that don't
hope we
understand the
catch up.
technology.
I really hope we catch up one day. Now, the other interesting thing about this, when you say that they're working on all these things to support cryptocurrency, the other interesting side of it now is, well, if they are doing this, obviously news like that changes the landscape.
Ooh,
Right.
Yes.
So does that mean then that looking at the period that we're in right now, which should be the bear market, is that going to change things moving forward? Because historically we've seen that, and this is something that we spoke about a little bit earlier as well, crypto adoption, it's in a different place than any other time, right?
Sir.
But we could also say that at any other time that crypto was running up, crypto adoption was at a different place than any other time before that.
Hey, history repeats itself.
Hey, that's the other thing. So does that mean it's going to at least not crash 80 something percent like it always does? Or is it going to hold and keep moving up because of the bullish news there? So there's good and bad news happening at the same time, right?
Yeah.
However, Bitcoin dominance has been down,
So let's look at the charts now. So based on
There we go.
that comment, right?
right?
But with this good news, this bullish news, what could happen historically? What have happened? So we're looking at the previous candles and charts to see what's similar to these current trends, and we started drawing those upward arrows that you guys see.
Right.
At previous times, not the exact dates, but previous candles that are similar to the candles that we have now, and what had happened to those price action.
Right.
So we did a little median, and it's showing us about 70% ish upward movement into crypto,
Right.
which then goes back to our original question: would Bitcoin reach $100,000 this year? And we're showing with a median of 70% up.
Yeah.
It's not looking likely.
Yeah. If it moves up 70%, right? From
Yeah.
this most recent bottom,
Yeah.
right? It would require about a 70% move to make it to about 90K.
Yeah.
I mean, that's really, about 90K.
Yep.
And for us to see 100K, then it needs to move about 86% to get to that point.
The interesting thing is previous candles, previous trends
Right.
hasn't been 86K.
Yeah.
it's been about 70 million.
So-
which is not getting us to 100K.
It's not 100K. It's definitely not 100K. So, and we also notice that it always happens, that 70% run up happens after like a period of a pullback, right? So you would see that as we have this pullback here, right? And then we had before that big move up, and then we also have this pullback that happened here. Well, let's get a clicker. We also have this pullback that happened here, and another one which happened here. What we're looking at here and what we're doing here is just looking at the historical performance of this thing. This is how we even got to this point where people were able to determine a bear market and a bullish market coming about, right? Because we're looking at patterns that have repeated themselves over and over. And like you said, this is in the stock market as well. We have quads, right? If you do like macro, if you're investing from a macro standpoint, right? You have guys like Hedgeye who have like the quad model where you have times when productivity is down, right? But inflation is
Doing this thing.
yeah, I don't even remember if it's up or down, right? So when productivity is down, inflation is going to be in a certain direction. I think inflation will be moving down as well, or inflation will be going up when productivity is down. This is towards the end of the year type of thing, right? And you see that there are certain stocks that perform better during that period of time. And as you rotate to another quarter, depending on what quad you're in and where productivity is and where inflation is, you will see that there's a different sector that performs differently during that period of time. So this is how, I would imagine this is how you have your bear and bull markets, right? From
cycles,
patterns.
Yep. You know what? Talking about the current situation right now, looking at Bitcoin, if you can zoom in a little bit into the Fibonacci retracements,
Yes.
which is now we're looking at the price, right? We've talked about all the different political and all the variants around this whole situation.
Right.
This candle right now on the daily chart, next candle has to open above that zero resistance support
The
level.
retracement line,
Yeah, and it has to be a green candle, and it has a big fight to go through because it still has a 0.382. 0.618 is okay for sure. We're about to go for this bull run, but if it does not get to 0.618, which is about 62,000, then we're kind of gonna be in the bear market for real. Because if you start throwing in the moving averages, I'm not sure if you can turn on the simples.
Oh yeah, let's drop that in there.
Yep, as you can see, the 20-day is really close to the 50-day. If that 20 crosses that 50, we're gonna have another dip. And if the 50 crosses the 200, forget about it. We're entering the serious bear market. And right now we're super close to entering the beginnings of a bear market.
Absolutely. Well, look at this, man. We have 4 hours before that candle comes to an end. So I guess we just have to wait and see what happens there, right?
Yep.
But I would say before we wrap this one up here, I'll ask you, do you think that 100K is possible from here?
Before we do that, let's do the worst case scenario. Let's zoom out a little bit and see what happens.
Worst case scenario. Now, before we look at the worst case scenario here, right? During a bear market, let me preface this by saying that during a bear market, Bitcoin tends to pull back about 80%. Roughly.
Pullback.
Yes, major pullback.
Like
as we showed in the chart at the beginning of the video, right?
Yeah.
And I'm going to add that chart again here so you guys can see it. If Bitcoin should pull back 80% from where it is right now, we're looking at about $13,000.
Anybody ready for that, man? You ready for that?
I'm gonna be ready for it. Look, man, I'm gonna have cash. I'm selling everything. Selling my car.
Sell my car, sell my house with the roof on it.
Look, man, I was like, does someone need a knee? I don't need my knees anymore. I'll sell my knees. Put me now, but that is going to be a massive dip. I know.
Yeah.
And I've seen videos from other people who do technical analysis of these things, and they agree that the bear market is going to be about an 80% correction. However, they were looking at it as a bear market coming down from 100K. Right, so we would have ended up, I don't know, not anywhere close to $13,000, right? But it seems that this bear market may happen below 100K, and that will bring us to 13K.
I mean, of course, it's gonna have some pauses along the way. We have that purple line there. There's a couple of support levels that it's gonna try to fight, but it's a bear market. If your bear is about to go bearish on you, just get ready for the worst case scenario.
Imagine if this dropped to 13K. How do you think?
I'll feel bad, but I would just buy them all. It's gonna be the most foolish thing that people think that you're foolish.
Yeah.
But I'm just learning from history.
Yeah, I would say even when you know it's coming, it never feels good.
Hey, look at ADA right now.
Yeah. Oh my God, dude. Yeah,
Cardano.
Yeah, I'm feeling. Yeah, that has me feeling some type of way. I would say that.
That dude is literally in its own bear market by itself.
By itself.
I got to the bear market before everybody, y'all. I'm Cardano.
This is the good thing, though. It's not participating in the shenanigans with everything else. So maybe when it decides to go into a bull market, it's going to be in a bull market on its own league then.
Yeah,
so
it's possible.
Who knows? We'll see what happens there, right? But I don't think we're gonna see 100K this year, man.
I agree with you, sir. I don't see it either.
I don't think we will.
We could be close, but there's just so much.
Yeah. I mean, look, Stagnation. Let us know in the comments. What do you guys think? Do you think 100K is still possible this year? Do you think Bitcoin can run up 86% before December 30th? Is it 31st in December?
30 days of September, April, June, and November. All the rest are 31. Yep,
there's 31. Hey, I know that song too. I used to sing it back in nursery school, my guy. April, June, and November. Oh damn. I did not know you were going to whip that one out.
I can sing.
Okay. Hey, look, man, that's childhood memories right there, man. I love it. Yeah, so December 31st, we'll see if we're going to hit 100K. Right?
Yes, sir.
So, very interesting times to be alive. Any final thoughts, sir?
No, thanks for watching, liking, and subscribing. By the way, if you're out there trying to buy some metaverse stocks and coins, whatever, we've done some pre-analysis. We're going to do another video about that. They seem to be all-time high. If this bear market happens like it's looking like right now, you might want to just take a pot. Again, not financial advice. Just putting it out there.
Absolutely.
But thanks for liking and subscribing.
Hey, Stagnation. Until next time, brazen out.
Double O out.